guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry if I keep ending it. There's like lots of stuff that happened in like the murder mystery movie. Okay, so there's some characters I recognized. Okay, so it opened up with like Audrey. She's the hairdresser, and then Nick's the detective. So they're a couple, and then their last name's so funny. But I like this movie because I'm obsessed with a board game called Clue. Anyways, so what happened in this movie was okay, there was a murder, but I'm not gonna say which part it is till like I like describe this movie. Now I'm not the best at explaining this movie, and I have a headache. Um, so without like giving too much away, my favorite part was like when the guy from Haunted Mansion, he plays an uncle, but he's like my favorite villain in like the Haunted Mansion. Now after we watched it again, because I did not like the skeleton part. That's the only part that scared me. Okay, so what happened in what's it called again? Murder mystery. So the first part, it opens up like with the couple, Audrey and Nick, at their jobs, and then Nick finishes off his shift, and then he asks like his friend to lie to him, because I think his wife would tell Audrey about the test, stuff like that. That's like the best part, and then it goes back to, well, first it's not Nick's turn yet, but it's Audrey's. You see her at a hair salon working, and she's talking to her client and like her coworkers and stuff about like her husband, like Nick, who like she wants to go on vacation. Then fast forward a little bit into like the movie. Like this is the part I liked. After they go out for dinner with their friends. Oh no, wait, hours before that he goes to the convenience store. And then he buys like a gift card. I mean no, Amazon card, and then a card. And then he like sees a kid like something about a backpack, and then I forget what there was like an energy drink, which is Monster, and like a bunch of other stuff in his backpack, and then he pulls out his wallet and then shows the badge of like a detective or something like that. So after that they go out for dinner with their friends. Audrey and Nick did. Okay, so later on after like that they go home, and then Nick was like brushing his teeth, Audrey was flossing, and then Nick brought up like something about a surprise, like about like the trip that Audrey really wanted to go on, and this trip was involving Greece. Now, the first half of the movie took place in New York. Now, leading up to like they go on an airplane. This is my favorite part of the whole movie, is when the guy from Beauty and the Beast, like the guy that played Gaston, his character is Charles. I forget his like the last name, but he like you see his character. Why do I always? Anyways, you see his character later on in the movie after they go on the plane, and then they find their seats. They sit. Then I forget what Jennifer Aniston said about something about like after the book. Then he says the butler did it and stuff. Then she told him not to lean his seat back. If you ever been on a plane. Anyways, so the other part of like, so she goes to the first class. She sees like someone, and then there was like I forget what. Then the flight attendant or something like that came around and told her that she shouldn't be there. And then because like she was getting headphones after asking for headphones because of like money or something like that. And then she like takes headphones from someone else's booth or something like that. I mean plain seat. And then she like was grabbing peanuts, and then Charles something, which is like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, the live action one. Now I'm not gonna get into like the live action Beauty and the Beast or Haunted Mansion in this video. Anyways, sorry if I'm gonna jump back into the movie. So anyways, his character, Charles, something, you meet his character. Now he's like supposed to be like rich or something like that, and then Nick wakes up to find his wife like talking to another man. And then he invited them on a boat after like saying like his family like well he talked to like Audrey, which is Jennifer Aniston's character, about like his fiance leaving him for his uncle or something like that. I'm not too good at explaining this movie. Like, that's why I didn't explain Snatch. But anyways, jumping back right into murder mystery. Now, after like fast forward like right after like he like says something, they go to like the attendant's bathroom. I don't want to say other things that happened in that bathroom. Like, he wanted to do something with his wife, but yeah, they wanted to. Well, they had a private conversation, and then I forget what else happened, but she was like talking about and then something about a bus, and then to tour around, and then he invited them on the boat because she told after Nick and Audrey like were talking in the bathroom at like no, Audrey was talking to like this dude like Charles something, and then he invited them on the boat, and then fast forward a little bit more into the movie. They go to the bathroom to have a private conversation, and then he wanted to get something, but I'm not gonna say what it is. And then she like said, no, it's a private conversation or something. Sorry if I keep saying that. And then something about a boat, and then they were fighting, but they fixed it though, because she said that he invited them on a boat. Then when they got off, finally, after like hours of like that plane situation thing, they get off like the plane. They were going to go on a bus, but there was like a family with kids fighting, and then they decided to end up going on the boat, taking like an open invitation from a stranger, which is, you find out the stranger's name was Charles. I forget his like last name, that's why I didn't say his last name. So a little bit later, they go to the boat, and then you meet like another actress, Susie or something like that. And then later on, Charles said something about like they were I forget the Charles's ex-fiance's name in this movie. But they were fighting about something about like the uncle or something like that. And then later on, you find out like after like they go into the boat, like they don't go to the room till like much later. They go to like this room like it's all like for fancy people, like people wear tux. You meet like the guests, like it's kind of like if you play Clue before, it's kind of like you map out like the players of Clue. It's not like chess, but it's so cool. It's so well done in the movie. Anyways, so there's like people like getting mad at like the guy that played Mr. Ramses from Haunted Mansion. Now I knew I recognized that character. His name's in this movie, Murder Mystery, is called Malcolm's, and I forget his last name, but he ends up, he's the first to die in this movie, spoiler alert, and his death, you, like, never see that coming, but you find out near the end of the movie who did it. That's why I find it, like, not, like, Guess Who, but Clue, but jumping back into, like, that, after, like, he asked his, like, nephew, who, like, you meet, like, Malcolm's son, Tobis, or something like that. But yeah, like, in, like, this movie, I remember, like, he died from, like, a dagger. It's kind of like Macbeth in a way, but his death, like, it's so gruesome how he died, but they're not supposed to touch the body of, like, so, look, how like, the lights go off, and then it was pitch dark, and then he, like, gets stabbed or something like that. Sorry if I mentioned that, but, like, it happened in the movie. That's the first, like, that's what, I'm, like, so I named, like, the people that could have done it. So, fast forward a little bit into like more of the movie. They stopped off at like at a hotel. They like framed like the Americans that they called like uh Audrey and Nick. Those two. Those two are the main, not the main focus on the story. I really want to say that, but there's more to like this movie. Okay, so a little bit after like they have a big fight later on in the movie about like Nick lying to her about something like that. Without giving too much away, there's two other deaths that happen in the movie. I think. I don't remember. The first death was Malcolm, and then I forget the other two deaths. But well, I think there was a couple more deaths. I don't remember. But if I'm not too mistaken, someone else dies. Like, actually no. Wait, Malcolm's the first to die, but there was like other people died towards the end of the movie. But the second person that died was his son Tobis. Now I didn't see his death coming. And then, well, actually, before like a little he dies, there was something about a will, and Malcolm was supposed to sign it to leave it to his like wife. That's like young, but yeah. Spoiler alert. He's the one that dies before like Tobis. And then you mentioned like there's like other people that die too. There's like a few deaths in like this movie. Not too many though. So fast forward a little bit into like the movie. So after like Malcolm's death, it was Tobis who died after that. His death was so gross. Like it was like to the head. He took a bullet to the head. Sorry if I'm like explaining what happened, but you never see his death. But the first death was Mr. Ramsey's. I'm gonna call him Malcolm, because he was like in the haunted mansion. Now his death was so weird. Like you never see his death coming. Like after the lights turn off, and then it all like played out actually. In the end, it all played out. Like it made perfect sense. That movie keeps you on edge and suspense. There's like lots of things that happen in this movie, but there was like yeah, some characters died, but there was two deaths like in the very like. So okay, the first death being Malcolm, which was the uncle, talking about like the will and stuff, and then the second death was Tobis, the son. So he couldn't have done it. I thought it was the son, but it wasn't, and then I was wrong about that. And then I forget who else I said could have done it, but you will never expect who like did it. That's why I liked this movie, because it's like a mystery, and that's why I really wanted to watch it after like I saw it on Netflix for a trailer. Now like it's so much like the trailer, and it pulls you in. So there was like so many deaths that happened in the movie. Like two deaths like, well, in the middle of the movie it was Malcolm, Tobis, and I forget who else died. Oh yeah, near the ending there was like other people that died. The bodyguard, the general's bodyguard. Actually no, they get off the boat before like in Paris, and then they go on to a hotel, and then right before like this person dies, he like tells actually no, that happened before. Oh my god, how do I not? Okay, so there was like a few deaths in this movie. Now the deaths didn't make any sense in this movie. So there was like, it's not like Pretty Liars actually. I really wanted to say it was like Pretty Liars, but it's not. There's like, okay, people on the ship, if it makes sense, there's some people that died in it. There's two people that died on the boat, and then if you think about it, who like they framed the guests that were in like on the boat, like friends or family, framed the Americans for doing a crime that they didn't commit. But that was not the only thing that happened. Okay, so I thought it was the son that killed like his own dad. Tobis killed his own dad, which is Malcolm, but he didn't. You find out he didn't, and like he later committed suicide. No, he didn't. Okay, now I'm confusing myself. So I thought I got makeup on myself. Anyways, so someone like framed the Americans for doing something, but I don't think the Americans had anything to do with like a death. So there was 2 deaths in like the middle part of the movie. Now it pulled you in so much. Like the movie pulled you in so much. It's kind of like the board game Clue. Now that you think about it, so you find out who did. It was 2 people that were like working together the whole time. Throughout the movie, you never know who it is. Let's just say it's 2 people that were like, one left the room after like finding out that Malcolm did not want anyone else but his wife in like the will, but he couldn't sign it because he died like right after lights went out. So yeah, that is what I found like clue. So you don't know who did it. So anyways, lots of stuff that happened in the movie. There was like a couple or a few deaths in the movie, and you find out who 2 people that did it, that were working together the whole time to commit an act. But I'm not going to say what the act was. You'll find out like if you watch the movie without giving too much away. It was a really good movie. I don't know if I'd download it, but the movie I'd download is Aladdin over this movie, because this movie, like, it confused me the whole time, but there was some funny moments in it and good moments in it. Without further ado, this was Murder Mysteries. You find out it was a godson who did it, and you find out he had like another child, which was a girl, and there was like a straw with a spit, and it's just an app. Anyways, you found out what it was that did that, and yeah. So that's enough of like me rambling on about that like this show that not a show, this movie. So I hope I didn't give too much away, but this movie kept confusing me. Like I thought it was like one of the other guests who did it, and then there was another death the person you see on the plane, he ends up dying, like foaming at the mouth. That death was so weird. And then the bodyguard dies. Well, wait, before like Charles dies, it was like spoiler alert. He dies at near the end of the movie, but before that, the girl dies. The wife, Malcolm's wife, dies from a poison dart, like right here. And then there was like you find out like later on after Malcolm, they go to like Charles like house or whatever. And then you find out he died. And then after like the library incident. And people like there's like weapons involved, but I'm not gonna mention like what weapons are involved if you see the movie. I know there's like tons of reviews of this, but I really wanted to make it my own review. And this is my own opinion, so yeah, watch this movie to see what it's like. I told my mom that it's a really good movie. Now, it's not like or Snatches, but it's different. It's a lot different. Murder Mystery is actually a good movie. And yeah, like, that's like a movie I really liked. Out of like all like the other movies I've seen with Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, and etc. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment down below if you're new, and yeah, I hope I didn't give too much away of what happened in the movie. But yeah, like, this video is gonna go up real soon, and yeah, I'm out. Peace.